How to make the Vlookup function in Excel with multiple search criteria. This is what we're going to see in today's video. Take a look here in this practical example that I have, where I have my sales report. I have the date, the product name, the location, the type, the quantity, the unit price, and also I have here the unit cost. But here is my first problem. All the rows are blank. So basically I need to fill it in all the unit cost to all the different products that I have for each one of the rows. And to do it manually, it's going to take me a long time. However, I can take a look here in the stock report and check what's the product and what is the cost of each one of the products that I have here in the stock. And here I have the second problem. I have one criteria that is the product, the second criteria that is the location, and then the type. All these three different criteria can change the price and the cost of the item. So take a look here, for example, item F. If I come back here to the stock report, as you guys can see, I have here the item F one time, and here I have another item F. And if you take a look, this item F is different than this one right here, because the shelf location is different, and also the type is different. Here I have the model 5, and here I have the model 3. And of course, the unit cost is also different. So I can't take the first item F that just appears here in the list. No, I have these three different criteria that I can change the unit cost of the item. Product, shelf location, and also the type. And here is the question. How can I do the Vlookup function to help me solve this problem using three different conditions in the search, for example? I can do it using the ampersand symbol. Take a look here, for example. In the unit cost, I'm gonna type it in equal sign, and then I'm gonna band together the product, the location, and the type. Let's start first with the product, and then I'm gonna append the ampersand, like this, the ampersand. I'm going to select the second criteria that I have, that is the location, ampersand again, and now I'm going to select here the third and the last one criteria that I have, the type, like this. I'm going to press enter, and as you guys can see now, all these three different criteria that I have are now in just one single cell. I basically group all of them together, item, the shelf location, and also the type of the item. I can do it, and basically the problem is solved. Now, what I need to do is take this formula and input in the Vlookup function, and that's it. But before we do it, I need to do the same thing that I just did here in my another spreadsheet, where I'm going to look up for the unit cost. So let me come back here to the stock report, and to do it, I'm going to need to use a helper column. Let's call it that way. I can either use some columns to the right or a new column to the left. Let's stick with the second option. So I'm going to click here in the entire column A, right click, insert. I can increase a little the size of this column like this. Now I'm going to do here the same thing. I'm going to band all these three different criteria that I have, product, shelf location, and the type. Equal sign, item, ampersand, and then I'm going to append the second criteria, ampersand again, and then I'm going to append the last criteria that I have. Enter. Now let me just click here in the down icon of the cell, double click here, to make sure all the rows contain all the same formula, and we can come back here to the sales spreadsheet, or where you are using the Vlookup function. Let me delete here what we did before, and then now I'm going to do the Vlookup function, use this logic to group together these three different conditions. Equal sign, Vlookup function, double click here, As my first criteria here, the lookup value, I'm going to select the product, and then ampersand and append the second condition, and append again the third one, like this, like we did before, comma. Now I need to select here my table array, and as my table array, I'm going to come back here to the stock report, and I'm going to select everything, start from the column A up to the column I, for example, comma again, and you can follow here through the formula bar. Now the Vlookup function is asking me what is the column index number, and as the column index number, I'm going to use the column that I want to bring back as result, and this is the column G, for example, the unit cost. So let's count and see the number of the unit cost column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so the unit cost is the column number 7. That way, I'm going to type it in here, the number 7, comma again, as I want exact match. So I'm going to double click here in the second option, 1, 2, and that's it. I can close parentheses, enter, we're done. So this is how we can use the Vlookup function in Excel with multiple search criteria. You can use 2 different conditions, or 3 criteria, 4 criteria, and so on, so on. Let me just click here in the down right corner of the cell, 1, 2, to make sure we have Now the same function to all the rows. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions or any suggestions to the next videos, let me know, comment down below, and I see you tomorrow. As every day has a new video, I see you there.